Assalamualaikum everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Wuhan coronavirus, which is spreading rapidly. It's a hot topic. A lot of people are saying that this is a punishment from Allah because of what China has been doing to Muslims. And then there is another group of people who are saying, no, this is not a punishment from Allah, and don't say this kind of thing. So, which is correct? We are not God, and we don't have a connection to be able to actually hear and interpret what God is saying. The reality is everything is controlled by Allah. Everything. So the spread of this illness is indeed controlled by Allah. So when people say this is not a punishment from Allah, it's like, well, it's controlled by Allah. From an Islamic perspective, we do know that yes, indeed, Allah does send punishments, and this can be in this life or the hereafter. So for people to say that it's not a punishment is not really correct. Inshallah, if this is a punishment from Allah, then Allah knows best. So what do we know about China? Unfortunately, China is a country that is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Chinese Communist Party has been abusing its citizens since 1949. The oppression is not just within the Muslim community. Of course, as Muslims, we feel it the most when we hear that there are 3 million Uyghurs in concentration camps being brainwashed and forced to revoke their religion, and another 11 million who are in a police state. They're not allowed to leave, they're not allowed to practice their religion freely. There is also the Hong Kong people who are being oppressed, and there are people from Tibet that are being oppressed. Inner Mongolia being oppressed. Actually, pretty much every ethnic minority of China is being oppressed. The Falun Gong Practitioners, Christians, Jews. Chinese Communist Party basically believes that there is only really one way, and that is to worship the Chinese Communist Party and be loyal to the one country, one way system. China abuses their own citizens by having poor labor standards and disregard of health and safety and pollution, as well as fake goods. China is known for stealing Western brands, ripping them off, stealing technology. So it's a country that is founded upon and fully practicing a lot of horrible things, and this is why I don't support anything to do with China. What do we see here in China? We see people eating filth, unsanitary conditions. They're not eating halal, expired foods being sold, genetically modified, and just no standards of quality of living. You got customs that are embedded into people that are filthy, spitting in public, going to the toilet in public. And then you got the filth that's found in the government with the oppression, the cover-ups. Even doctors that were just talking about the issue and the patients that they were finding, they're being arrested or disappeared. And if you want to research this in your time, I suggest you watch people like Lawai86 or, oh my god, I can't say his name, whatever. These people have been living in China for over 15 years. They're experts on the subject. All of the negative things that the Chinese Communist Party is doing. Is it surprising if Allah does punish this country in a way by preventing people to travel there? I don't know why it's so strange for some people that Allah would send a punishment. Look at over time the punishments that we know of that are spoken about in the Quran, and the predictions of punishments in the future. And a society, when something happens, it would be either a punishment or a test. I just wanted to say that as Muslims, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Allah is in control of everything, so I'm not really sure why people think it's a sensitive topic to talk about punishments in Islam. Because yes, it's a reality. You can be punished in the dunya. And yes, there are incidences, there are hadith that talk about a majority of people being punished, even if there is good among them. Of course, there are innocent families, yes, and they are in this calamity. And those people who are innocent, the innocent people of China who have nothing to do with the Chinese Communist Party, and they don't bow down to the Chinese Communist regime. Of course, our hearts go out to these people, but that doesn't mean just because there's good among people that we kind of ignore the fact that Allah is in control of everything and that there is bad things going on. When people are making dua to Allah to stop the oppression, and people are making dua to Allah to free the Uyghurs, free the other people who are being oppressed, and stop the oppression, it's like, I don't know why people are trying to kind of ignore the fact that this is part of Allah's plan. It would be completely ignorant for you to say that it's not part of Allah's plan. Like, do these people not believe that Allah is not in control of this? Allah can do anything at any time. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. Anyways, I'll end off this video with just a few tips on how to stay clean. In Japan we have something called ugai, and this is basically gargling with iodine solution, but you can use basically anything. If you have water and salt, to just gargle with it. When you go in from outside, it's good to gargle, washing your hands. This is obvious. And also, to prevent yourself from being sick, just always be eating healthy, lots of garlic, lots of ginger, lots of turmeric, just normal habits that you should be doing as a person who wants to stay healthy. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Assalamu alaikum.